name is Stephanie Timmy. I am the founder of Seidea. Just a quick background on what Seidea is. We are an organization focused on helping Black, Asian, and minority ethnic women enter the cybersecurity sector. And we do this through webinars such as this, learning tables, our jobs board, and also our virtual internship program. Today, I'm really excited because we have a very important guest, Sharon. Sharon Lawrence is a cybersecurity engineer at GDIT in America. I think Florida or
North Carolina.
North Carolina. And today she's going to share her experience with you all. Feel free to send your questions in on the Q&A section. And then at the end of her presentation, we'll answer your questions. So I'm going to leave it over to you.
And I'm going to talk about cybersecurity, about my journey and how do you get into cybersecurity. And first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and about me. My name is Sharon Lawrence, and I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Maybe about 13 years ago, I've been here in North Carolina, in Durham, North Carolina. I started in retail and banking for 6 years, and then worked in education field for 8 years. After getting my second degree, I transitioned into IT. I've been in IT for about 5 years. My education consists of, I have an associate degree in business management from a community college called Borough Manhattan Community College, but we call it BMCC for short. That's what we call it around where I come from. And I have a bachelor's degree in business education with a major in IT. And I have two IT certifications. I have a CompTIA A+ certification. I got that certification when I was like 20 years old, but since I got it so long ago, I'm basically grandfathered in it, so I don't have to ever renew it. That's a lifetime certification. And then I have the Cisco Certified Cyber Ops Associate certification, and it's a brand new certification from Cisco that kind of specializes more on the cybersecurity side of Cisco certs. And it was formerly known as the CCNA Cyber Ops. And now I'm going to talk about my role. As a cybersecurity engineer, actually, I started in tech support. I started like low on a tech support job. And within 4.5 years, I ended up getting a cybersecurity role job from all the studying I did and the certification. I was able to achieve it in 4.5 years. I work as a cybersecurity engineer on the technical engineering side of cybersecurity. And I work for the U.S. government federal contract company called GDIT. And we support the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. And it's like an agency that protects the environment mostly of the U.S. It's a federal agency. And I've been there for 8 months in the cybersecurity field working. I work as a floater with the IT security, cybersecurity team. My duties are firewall, remote access, data protection, and I do access control, IDS, IPS, detecting and blocking malicious websites. And now I just started on cloud security, so I'm about to learn a little bit about cloud security. And roles, I'm gonna talk about the roles of a cybersecurity engineer. When people think about cybersecurity engineers, sometimes they think about them as being hackers, but they're not necessarily hackers all the time. They have technical roles and they also have non-technical roles. And they can be titled different ways, like they have cybersecurity analysts, cybersecurity consultants, cybersecurity specialists, cybersecurity engineers, and then they'll have like cybersecurity analysts. Like those are just other ways that you can categorize the cybersecurity jobs, but they can be technical or non-technical. And there are other titles too for those cybersecurity jobs, and I'm going to talk more in my other slides. Like I told you, cybersecurity roles can be technical roles and non-technical. The technical roles will require you to know more of networking, Windows, iOS programming, Linux, security application and tools, and the non-technical cybersecurity roles requires knowing more of the compliance side, the policy side, the auditing, risk management, project management, research, law, and governance. And these are the popular technical cybersecurity roles, if you can see, that are technical, like SOC analyst, certified ethical hacker, incident responders, penetration tester, vulnerability assessors, risk assessors, firewall engineer, cyber forensics. Then we're going to name some of the non-technical jobs that people do in cybersecurity that don't really require much IT skills, like the governance side, policy and procedures, threat intelligence, risk management, IT auditor, compliance roles, analyst roles, cybersecurity program manager, cybersecurity project manager, cybersecurity technical writer. And in the US, we go by a form called the NIST Cybersecurity Framework in the US to kind of like help with the cybersecurity job roles. Actually, I'm going to go back to it. And the cybersecurity framework is a series of documents defining the best practice of the organization and to maintain the cybersecurity risks. And these are the 5 elements that most of the cybersecurity jobs follow within these type of elements right here. You can see, but this is in the US. I'm not sure about the UK, but this is what we do. We follow this. And right here is the domains of the cybersecurity framework. And these are the jobs that you would see in that framework. Like you can see over here, cybersecurity operations, you will see you have a SOC analyst job. Those will be in that area. Forensics will be in the security operations side. Then they have a threat intelligence section. They have internal, external to protect those threats. And then they have regulation section, but these are all US-based structures, not for UK. And then now I'm going to talk about the 10 coolest jobs in cybersecurity. These is what listed recently for being the 10 coolest jobs to have in cybersecurity. We have digital forensic analyst and investigator. Then they have penetration testers for system and networks, or you can call them ethical hackers also. And they have application pen tester, security operations center, SOC analyst, cyber defender, cyber engineer, enterprise. Then they have hunter incident responder, security architect. Then there's secure software developer manager, malware analyst, and reverse engineer. And then they have technical director and a CISO. CISOs make the big money because they're like the chief in charge of cybersecurity of the crew on those. So that's some of the 10 coolest jobs that you can think of in cybersecurity. And what do employers look for? Today, employers are looking for certifications, whatever certifications you have. Mostly, they want you to have cybersecurity certifications. And your experience, your education, sometimes, depends. Soft skills, you need to know how to talk to people and talk with your team and work as a team. So you need people that can get along with others. Adaptable to change, because in this field, you have to do a lot of changes on different situations. You may have to stop one thing and go to another thing that's more urgent. So you need to be adaptable to change. And you have to be able to be a team player, like same thing, close to soft skills. You need to know how to get along with your team. And your social media, like your LinkedIn page should be good, up to date, and have a picture on it and look complete, because employers now are going on LinkedIn to see how your pages look. And sometimes they'll go on there to see if you're telling the truth or not. So you want to make sure that everything is up to date, and they want to see how active you are too sometimes. And certifications for the role. And there's many cybersecurity certifications out there, but it depends on preference and the money you want to invest in yourself. Like in the US, the CompTIA and Cisco certs are more popular, but in the UK, they have the BCS, and it's not recognized here in the US. So that will be a different route than us. But some of the technical ones that we use in the US is, to start out, is Security Plus. That's for me, actually, for cybersecurity, it's Security Plus. And then we have the CYSA Plus, the CAP Plus, Cisco Certified CyberOps Associate, the SANS GIAC, and more. Then we have the non-technical certs that deals with the governance, compliance, and compliance like project management, CISA, CISM, and then the CISC. Then they have the forensic certs. These certs are more if you want to go into forensic side of cybersecurity. They have the GIAC, Certified Forensic Analyst, the GCFA, the GCF, GCFA, I said it twice, the GREM. No, if you're going for a Department of Defense cybersecurity government job, they will check they mostly go by the DoD approved 8570 baseline list of certifications to see if it's listed on the list. And for beginners, most people in the US start with CompTIA Security Plus, Cisco Certified CyberOps Associate, and the SANS GIAC, but is more competitive. But that SANS certification is more competitive than the other ones. So I don't suggest you start with that if you don't have any experience. And some of the mid-range certifications they have out that's in the US that's popular are the CYSA Plus, the CCSP, the CEH, the CCNP Security, the CANGISC, and much later down the road, the CompTIA CAP, plus the Advanced Cybersecurity Cert. That's the CISP is an Advanced Cybersecurity Cert by CompTIA. And then over here we have the CISP. Over here in the US, you need 4 or 5 years to have that certification. But I heard in the UK, you just need 2 years for the CISSP from what I was hearing, but that's what the standards are for the CISP over here, and they will verify that you have that. And if you don't have no experience in cybersecurity, it's okay. Don't get discouraged from your dreams. Most people start off on, if they're for the technical side, I don't know about the non-technical side, but for the technical side, most people start off in IT networking, or they'll start off in the basics first, and then they'll work their way up into a cybersecurity position. So when they start off in like a help desk, they'll start off at A+, CompTIA Network Plus, and then the Cisco CCNA. And then to get your foot in the door, you're going to take a help desk job, a service desk job, or a network role to start your career. Because it does take a process sometimes to get into cybersecurity. So you may have to start on the bottom, get to know about the IT side and get to know about the network side, because you need to know how to protect your network before you can land into a cyber job. And then, so what I'm just trying to tell you guys, it may be a mission, but don't give up, because everybody's journey is different. And actually, networking is very important in cybersecurity. Getting in the cybersecurity field can be quite overwhelming sometimes, so networking can help you land a cybersecurity job. Join some cybersecurity professional organizations. That's one thing you can do. Most of them, or or like around the world. So you can join around the world. Like some of them are ISSA, ISACA, ISC Square, Women in Cyber, and more. Attend more conferences and meetup groups. Join cybersecurity groups on social media. Make sure your LinkedIn is up to date. Like I said, complete with a photo, and find a mentor that works in the area of cybersecurity that you want to be in. Some of the trends are, there's a shortage in cybersecurity talent. The talent is expected to grow by 2026. Cybersecurity needs more minorities because there's not many. Cybersecurity needs more women because they don't have a lot of women. Like I was saying, I'm the only woman on my whole cybersecurity team. So we need more women. And once you get in, you'll have job security. That's one thing about the field. Last thing, we'll talk about the salary. And salary is dependent on your experience, education, or certification. The average today is, in 2020, for cybersecurity engineer is $60K to $138K. And if you're a CISO, the chief in charge, they can make $224K. And this is in the US. And if you decide to go the cloud security route, after that, you can make an average of $92K to $240K. But in London, England, I did a little research, and this is what I came up with. The average base was 67,737, and then the low end was 26K. The mid-range was 68K, and then the last ending, again, the highest range was 89K. And I'm going to recommend 2 books that I think be good to read. And the first one is The Struggle is Real, A Blueprint Excelling the Cybersecurity Discipline by Cydia Dean. And her book is an ebook, and it talks about getting into cybersecurity and the different frameworks and all that stuff if you want to learn more about that. And it actually comes out tomorrow. It's on pre-sale now. And actually, too, my cybersecurity story, Journey by Faith in Cybersecurity, is in her book. And other people share their stories, too. And then there's Cybersecurity Leadership is one by Mansour Hasib. Right? And then you have, that's another one book that's good as people are reading today. He talks like depth into cybersecurity. He talks about what is cybersecurity, what's the meaning of it, and he goes depth into it. So that's what I recommend. 2 books that I recommend that you can read, that you can go out and get. And that's the end of my presentation. And you can follow me on social media. Here's my LinkedIn. And this is my Twitter and Instagram. Answer questions?
Thank you so much, Sharon.
You're welcome.
That was very insightful. So I think now we're going to go into the questions and answers. Does anyone have any question? I think I'm seeing 2 already. So the first question is from Raymond Williams. So which cybersecurity qualification did you find most helpful in learning cybersecurity or helping get a job?
Once I got my CCNA, Cyber Ops, that helped me get interviews. I had got 2 interviews from getting that certification right as soon as I got that certification.
Okay. I'm just going to type that in. Was that CCNA?
It's not called the CCNA anymore. It's called the Cisco Certified Cyber Ops Associate.
Oops. All right, I've added that in. So the second question, again, is from Raymond, is what made you go into cybersecurity?
Okay, I was working in IT for 4.5 years, and I got tired of the position I was in, and I wanted something more challenging, and I ended up getting that scholarship. Actually, I got the CCNA Cyber Ops as a scholarship, and I started studying for it, and I ended up getting the scholarship, and I got the certification from passing the training and the exams, and that's how I ended up having more of a passion for cybersecurity.
So would you say it was a scholarship that triggered, or you just always had an interest in it?
I had an interest in it, but when the scholarship came available for me and I obtained it, I ended up getting more interested and wanted to know more about the field.
Okay, thank you very much. We have 2 more questions coming in. Guys, please do send more questions in. The third question is, what does your day in the life of your role look like?
Oh, first thing I do is I come in and check my emails, then I see what needs to be done for the day, and I work on those projects. Every day can be different. I work on different projects for the day. So every day can be different. Like sometimes I'll do emails, checking them, not emails, I'll do website and IP addresses, checking to see if they're malicious. Like I'll have a list of those and research those, or sometimes it could be a firewall problem, and I have to go in there and look at firewalls and see what rules need to be stopped. And so it can be anything, or it could just be meetings all day on different things because we're working on a cloud project.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is, what is the hardest part of your role?
The hardest part of my role is I can't really think of anything really hard. It's just that sometimes they'll have like a emergency meeting come in the middle of me trying to do one thing, and I have to stop and go to that meeting, or stop to go attend something else when I'm in the middle of trying to finish something.
Okay. I think that's all the questions on the Q&A. I was wondering, I think I saw someone put their hands up virtually. If you do want to ask a question, either put it on the Q&A or put your hands up in the chat section, and I would be able to call you in. I think I have a question for you in the meantime, Sharon, and I know you talked about a bit on cloud. So in your experience, what do you think is the future of cloud security? Do you think that's the next trend in cybersecurity that people should look out for?
Yeah, that's going to be the next hottest thing out, because everything is moving to the cloud now. Like a lot of businesses and we're moving like part of our network to the cloud. So a lot of things is happening with the cloud within the businesses. So the new thing is the cloud.
Okay, thank you for that. I've seen a couple of questions, but I know Katia was putting her hands up. So I'm going to see if it's possible to bring you in. Unfortunately, I can't bring you in to come and speak yet. If you're able to put your question, Katia, on the Q&A, then I'll be able to ask the question. Sorry, guys. Apparently, I'm unable to bring you guys in to actually speak. Okay, so the next question is by, I think the next question is from Monique, and it's, what aspects of cybersecurity allows you to be the most creative, and that you find the most interesting to you, and why?
The most interesting to me is that I know it's a broad field, and you can go to different areas of cybersecurity. Like if I get tired of this area that I'm in now, I can switch to a different area.
Okay. Do you think that in your career in cybersecurity, you're able to bring your creative side to it, or do you think there's any form of creativity in cybersecurity? Because I know some people tend to think cybersecurity is quite dry, and they think of hackers most of the time.
No, you can bring you can do other things. Like there's a girl I've seen, she does cybersecurity on drones. You know, you can incorporate cybersecurity in different things, you know.
That's true. The next question is from Spice, and it's, so would you recommend taking the CompTIA A plus as a first certification for a beginner?
Yes, I do recommend an A plus. As like if you're going in for a help desk job and you've never been in cybersecurity and you just want to get your foot in the door and to get a help desk job, an A plus will help you get in further first. But if you're already in the field, like working a help desk, you can probably jump the A plus and go to like maybe security plus or network plus. But if you have like no foundation of IT, it's better to start with your A plus. But some people do start with your security plus and then they work backwards and go back into network plus. I've seen people do that too, you know, so it all depends on how you want to start.
Please, guys, send in your questions if you have any. I think the next question from me is, in your opinion, if someone is coming into the industry, new, no experience, and they've just managed to get the CompTIA A plus certification, what do you think they should do if maybe they've had a lot of experience doing law, for example, let's say 5 years as a solicitor, and they're trying to transition into cybersecurity, but they may not necessarily want to go in as a complete beginner? What advice would you give them?
Study, if they have like a little IT experience, start studying networking. Go study network. Just learn, because you have to learn the network. In order to protect the network, you need to know the network. But like for me, I came from a technical support role, but my technical support role had networking in it and it had security tools in it. So I was able to jump into security. You know, it depends on the role that you get. And I worked that role for 4.5 years. And when I went to an interview, I told them that I worked with networking, I worked with the tools and security tools, and they was okay with that.
Thank you. I think that just goes to show that there are different ways in which you can pivot into the industry. So I'm seeing 2 or 3 questions. So the first one is from Monique. So I am a licensed social worker. Is there an area in cybersecurity that intersects or complements my current education and profession?
I may be able to do anything might be close to that is maybe project management side of cybersecurity. That's the only thing I can, or maybe some part of the compliance side, non-technical side on that end. Because if she goes into technical, she may have to start all over and start at the bottom and start with the IT classes.
Okay. Yeah, I think just to add to that, if you are coming from a non-cybersecurity background and you want to go in, I think it's a lot easier to go into the non-technical roles that has more to do with like compliance and auditing than the technical side, from experience in the UK. I'm not sure if it's easier in the US, but I think in the UK it's definitely easy to pivot more into like the privacy side of things.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next question is Angela. And she was asking about the CompTIA Security Plus test. Is it hard? And what advice should we take to start from the beginning?
I never took the Security Plus test, but you study the objectives, and that's how most of them pass. And that, and I guess read and study test questions. And what was the second part of the question?
So what advice should we take to start from the beginning?
Help desk, entry level work. If she's going on technical side, she has to learn the basics.
Okay. So I've just got another question. Okay, I've seen more questions. Um, I think there's questions for me in regards to the end of the webinar. Sharon, are you happy to send me the slides for me to share with the attendees of the webinar today?
Okay.
Yeah, then we'll be able to provide it to you guys hopefully by the end of this week. The next question that I've seen is from Amupriya, and it's, I am presently working in an IT role and I want to move to a cybersecurity engineer role. Do I still need to start from the network role or from the bottom? Or can she start from an intermediate role?
She's already in IT, it
Yeah.
says. Ready. Yeah. She can has she ever worked with networking in her role? Any networking?
You should have to answer that in the...
Yeah. If she didn't work with networking in her role, she need to do like a networking cert first and then do a cybersecurity cert.
Okay, so she said no. So you need
she probably gonna have to do like a networking, like a CCNA or a network plus, because she don't need A plus because she already have that. She already have the basics.
Okay, that's true. And I think if she has that, she'll then be able to pivot a lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question is from Raymond, and it's any tips for the CyberOps associate?
Any tips for that? They're actually changing the exam at the end of this month. So whatever, but now they're compiling into one exam. So it's like that CyberOps is more about it's more for like SOC analyst type jobs and incident response. That's what that CyberOps certification was more based on for jobs like that.
Okay, so that answers the question. I think the probably question is from me is, do you think it's better for people to go through the degree route in regards to getting a computer science cybersecurity degree, or do you think it's better for them to go via the certification route and getting a certification instead?
Certifications, I think, is the best route right now because that's what they're looking for more than degrees. Because you can have a degree in different majors and still get a cybersecurity job. Because we have people that that I worked with that have degrees in different majors other than cybersecurity, and they're working as senior cybersecurity engineers. So the degree is good, but it's just basically the icing on the cake. And that's what I was saying about degrees. But start with a certification first, and then maybe work on the degree later.
Okay, that's really helpful. I think the next question is going to be from me again. Please do send in questions for either me or Sharon, just in regards to what you want to know next about cybersecurity engineering. And I think the question from me is, in your opinion, do you think that when you work in cybersecurity, your career progression, is it much faster than working in a normal IT role from your experience? Because I know you've had 4 years previously before in the IT role before entering cybersecurity. Do you think that the pace for career progression is a lot faster in cybersecurity?
So you trying to say if it's that I progress faster in cybersecurity?
Uh-huh.
Well, it just depends on where you want to be in your life. If you want to stay at the help desk and try to progress there, you can stay there and progress in that area and not move to cybersecurity, or if you can just go to cybersecurity and just work that job. So it just depends on the job, not really where you want to progress in.
Okay. I think that's pretty much all the questions from me, and I'm guessing from the guests. If you guys do have any questions, you have literally 1 minute to ask. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on our platform. It's been extremely insightful just learning about your experience, your career journey, and a lot of the resources that you've put and made available. And Yeah, definitely would want to welcome you more. Hopefully, maybe a podcast. Um, and everyone, please, I would suggest maybe if you can go back to your social media page for people to see. Please do add Sharon on her LinkedIn, her Instagram, and her Twitter, and connect any way you can. It's really nice. I think what I like that you said as well was about the cybersecurity, having a mentor and having a community. And I'll definitely highlight that because a lot of the cybersecurity roles tend to be who you know. So definitely do network, do get a mentor, and also look out for cloud security, which I think from this conversation, we're able to find out that that's really where the next level is in cybersecurity. So just a quick background of Seidea again. Do check our website for our podcast, which is SayPod, is on security awareness. Definitely check it out. We just had one recently, which looks at IoT and technology-assisted domestic violence. So just ways in which technology can be harmful. It's more of a security awareness podcast for women. Do check our current webinars that we're going to be working on, the ones that we have coming up soon. And again, feel free to connect with Seidea on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And with that, I'm going to say bye to everybody. I don't think there's... Oh, there's one more question. Sorry. Before we go, we have one more question. And that's from Monique. And it's just, how expensive is it to get the entry-level certifications?
Depends on which one you get. There's a couple of entry level certifications. I mean, the CompTIA is like the A plus probably cost you like $290. I mean, that's in dollars. Security Plus might be like probably 340. It all depends.
Okay. Thank you again, Sharon. And I think that's the last question. Bye, everybody. Bye, Sharon. Thank you all for today, and see you in the next webinar.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.